What's going on, guys? Christopher Miniweather here with Deadstock Barbershop, and today I have the two pair of Kemei clippers as well as the trimmers that I purchased off of Amazon. These things were super cheap. I did multiple haircuts with them, and I want you guys to check out this haircut. Let me know what you think. It's crazy because this guy paid me more than both of the clippers are worth together. Check it out. Let me know what you think in the comment. Is it worth the purchase? Is it not? And I'll see you guys at the end of this video.
Louis the 15th.
So these are the trimmers, the 70-year anniversary, whatever. I just want to show you guys how well they set guidelines. They are not zero gap. They aren't even zero gapable. I checked, I tried, it wouldn't work, but they actually work pretty well. And so what I want to show you guys was a comparison between those and my actual hitters. And as you can see, it really isn't much of a difference when it comes to setting in a guideline. And these are both of the knockoff clippers. As you can see, I'll start it off with the Babyliss FX knockoff. And I was surprised at how well they knocked this hair off. And I have to admit, my guy does have some really nice hair, but everybody I use these clippers on, the results were the same. These are pretty nice. And just like all my other tutorials, I'm going through my steps. This is cutting hair. Everything that I show you guys is what I really do in real life. Sometimes I might change the system up, but for the purpose of using these clippers, I went through and used the same system that I teach you guys pretty often. So right now I have the one closed, and then after that I switch it up. I believe I grabbed my half guard, yep, and I started it off halfway and I worked my way down halfway, quarter of the way, then I closed it up. And as you can see, man, the fade is just coming together. I was so shocked. Like, I think I might have paid $30, $35, something like that for these clippers. And I'm just like, man, these things are actually working. Jumping to the number two, I'm gonna debulk this area and just keep it nice and dark, but I just want to set it up so I can start to fade this in, blend it all together. After this, I think I switched to my 1.5 and then your 1, and just following your steps, keeping the system the same. Yeah, this is a 1.5 right here, halfway, and I'm going right below that 2 closed, and I'm just stacking those guards. And this is my number 1 guard, halfway open because I already had it closed, and I'm just raising it up about 1/2 inch, and I'm just cleaning it up, and you just see it's coming together. So the only thing about these clippers, man, is honestly I don't know how long, the longevity on them. I don't know about the customer service if something happens. They actually work, as you can see, they work really well. I can get the fade done. It's not taking me extra time. It's not, they're not getting extra hot or anything like that. They just feel like any other pair of clippers that I own. And I definitely recommend these. Who would I recommend something like this to? If you are a professional, we're doing a lot of haircuts, so I wouldn't recommend these for a shop setting unless you are a newer barber, or if you are at home cutting hair and you're starting off, you're not making a lot of money. This is the perfect pair of clippers to start off with. They work really well, as you can see, as well as it won't cost you a lot of money when you're not making a lot of money. Typically, it's a lot of young guys doing this, and they might be charging $5 a haircut or nothing at all. But you want to make sure that you are not going out and spending the little money that you have on these tools that are $150, $200. It just doesn't make sense. You have to make it make sense. So make sure that you're not going broke because you're chasing your passion. What I say is chase the passion and the money will come. So you have to start somewhere. It's nothing wrong with going on Amazon and ordering you something like this that will jumpstart you, that will give you some tools to get the job done, you can learn with, And then when it comes down to it, you can go ahead and buy all the legit version, buy the Babyliss or the Wahl version, because I have to be honest, it is a lot of money, and it's easier for me to replace that money because I'm making money every day versus someone starting off or someone who just does it on the side. You know, you're spending your hard-earned money that might need to go into the house, you're spending it on tools. And if you aren't bringing in a lot of money cutting hair, you're not charging a lot. For me, it just doesn't make sense to invest super early. Maybe when you get up to $10, $15 a haircut at the house, then it would make more sense to me. So in my opinion, I would recommend someone start off with this type of clipper first. So as you guys can see, I actually switched clippers already. These are the Knockoff Seniors, and I believe they have the fade blade on them, and these things cut very well. I actually like these a lot. My preference is for these over the other. They feel a lot better in my hand. They feel like a really nice solid pair of clippers. The one thing that I really loved about these clippers is you can hear them when you're cutting. It's very loud. Like you can hear every little stroke of hair being cut, and that plays a big part to me because I was taught when you're cutting hair, it's just not visual, it's audible. So you're listening and you're cutting, so that way you know that, hey, I'm not cutting anything because I'm not hearing anything. You'll waste a lot of time cutting an area when you're not really cutting anything, when you should have closed the lever up a little bit, or you should have switched guards. So it definitely helps me to hear the clippers do their job. I also like that front panel where you can see the battery life. One thing that I wish more clipper companies incorporated is that I know JRL is currently doing it, but normally it's always these little knockoff clippers that you find on Wish or Amazon that do that. And I just wish more companies incorporated it because it looks cool to me. And I mean, I know most of my stuff sits on the Tune 45 wireless charging mat, but I still like how it looks. I want to see that display, and I want to see, you know, how much battery life I got left. Even if it always says 100, I just think it looks clean. As you can see, because these do have the surgical blade on there, it's pretty sharp. I can take it and shape up his hair. They have a strong motor, man. Now, for all the good that I've been saying this whole time, there has to be a downside to everything, right? Not necessarily with those clippers, but for these trimmers, as you can see, this is where the trouble began. Now, I don't know why, I don't know how these things did so well setting in the guideline, but for this hair in the front, I was struggling. Like I had to go over it a bunch of times, as you can see, and even then, it just wasn't smooth. Like it doesn't look how it looks when I pull out my hitters. So you'll actually see me switch and use my hitters because the haircut just looks like the edge up is like a barber school edge up, in my opinion. It's just not as clean, not as sharp, not as crispy looking. So I switched over, and you guys will see the difference. Like, look at that. I just feel like I can't do anything with it. Maybe I was being too cautious. I just don't know. They didn't give me that same feel. So you saw the before, look at that. Trash. So now I use these and I actually clean it up. And you just see instantly, it's just sharper. You know, they are zero gap versus the other ones aren't zero gap. But it's just a smoother cut. It's cleaner. You know, it's more crisp when I hit it. I don't have to hit it as many times. But as you can see, instantly there was an improvement. So that's one thing I gotta say, man. They didn't do really well with that. Maybe if they were zero gappable, I can definitely see them hitting a lot harder than what they were doing. But it just doesn't compare to my Babyliss trimmers. And you'll even see it right here. I get it pretty clean on the beard, like not too bad. It doesn't make as much of a difference. But what I will say is most of us hit our edge ups, our lineups, the beards, whatever, we hit it with a trimmer, I mean with a razor afterwards anyway. So I honestly believe that it does well enough on the beard to where I could just hit it with my razor and it'll be clean. But for the edge up, it just didn't work. It didn't work at all. See that one stroke right there on the bottom line was just way cleaner. So now I clean up his neckline. As you can see, that fade is blurry. It's icy, like it's clean with these knockoff clippers. Like I said, this dude paid me more for his haircut than I actually paid for both of those clippers combined. And this is the finished product. I definitely highly recommend these clippers just to anybody that want to try them, or anybody that's starting off, anybody that's doing it from the house. If you're just cutting your kids, these are a great pair of clippers. And the trimmers, I recommend that as well. Unless you're in a professional setting, then I say you can pass on those trimmers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Mini Weather Vlogmas Day 10, and I'm signing out. Peace.